That's right, folks. Yesterday, Bayern Munich beat Dortmund 2-1 to win the Super Cup, and I got married. It was a huge day. Don't worry, I made sure to catch as much of the match as I could as I was getting ready, and then missed a little bit of the kind of beginning of the second half, maybe 45th to 70th or so. I missed. Got caught back up on that today, and now I'm coming to you a day late because of that to give you a full breakdown of the match. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Thank you to everybody dearly for all of the well wishes. And you know what you could do to even help out more with the wedding gift would be subscribing to Always Bayern Chelsea. If you are new here, if you haven't already, leave this video a like, leave it a comment. I would love to know what everybody thought about the Super Cup. And become an Always Bayern Chelsea member too. You can do that. Jim was my best man, so maybe we've kind of been joking about this, but maybe we'll have to make a new membership tier, a third tier where you get to see his best man speech. So, all right, enough talk. Let's get into this one and kind of break things down here for you. So, Bayern Munich got the win over Dortmund again, 2-1. Nathaniel Brown in his first match ever for Bayern Munich scoring a goal. That was cool. And Michael Olise with a goal and an assist. And then Fabio Silva scoring for Dortmund in the 75th minute. This match was a little bit choppy. I don't think Bayern really got into a rhythm. Bayern was the better team. They deserved a win. But Dortmund had their chances. Bayern missed some chances. Dortmund also missed some chances. But I think Dortmund, they almost accomplished what they wanted to do. They played physical, classic Niko Kovac. They fouled a lot, didn't really let Bayern get into that rhythm, didn't really let Bayern get into that game. But also, it is the very first match of the season. We're coming off of a World Cup year for Bayern Munich. So for Bayern Munich, it's more important in my opinion because so many of their players are key guys for teams that went deep in the World Cup. So that being said, Kane, Olise, Upa, they just started training this week. Kane and Olise played the full match. So guys are clearly not quite yet in this club rhythm for Bayern. They're shaking off some rust. So it's okay that it necessarily wasn't the most perfect match for Bayern. And again, I'm going to take it because they were the better team and they got the win and they started the season off with the trophy. So, yeah, you look at the stats here. Bayern had 61% possession, 4 big chances to Dortmund's 3. But here's where Bayern really shined: 21 total shots to Dortmund's 8. And yeah, I think we'll kick this off here like we usually do, going through the lineup that Vincent Kompany put out for Bayern Munich here. And then I'm going to go through the match and kind of describe how the match went. We'll end with some match awards, basic stuff. Basic Always Bayern Chelsea match breakdown. Manuel Neuer started in between the sticks as expected. Neuer, I thought, was pretty good. I mean, I don't know how many saves he had, maybe 3 or 4. I don't think he had a ton. 3 goalkeeper saves. Yeah. So Neuer wasn't tested a ton, but when he was tested, he had 1 or 2 very good saves, I thought, and then the goal wasn't really his fault. Then you got Konrad Laimer at right back. I actually didn't think Laimer was this poor. SofaScore has him rated at 6.2. I thought he was a little bit better than that, but it wasn't his best matchup. I'm happy to see Laimer at right back, though. I like the Laimer-Olise right side connection, and yeah, I want to see Laimer at right back, not at left back, which Kompany has played him a little bit last year due to injuries and whatnot. But center back combination was a little bit surprising. Ta and Kim. I actually thought they were both really solid. I thought Ta could have done more on the goal that Dortmund scored, but I actually thought Kim was really good. And last year he maybe wasn't as consistent. Last couple of years he wasn't as consistent. And if Kim can put up consistent performances like he did in this match, that would be a great thing because I've been the one clamoring for Bayern to buy another center back to do a true 3-man rotation with Ta, Upa, and Kim. But if Kim can, again, put up performances like this and just eat up a bunch of minutes and, step in if, God forbid, Upa or Ta get hurt, that would be great news for this Bayern Munich team. Stanisic at left back, Stanisic, I think, is the guy for whatever reason. Goretzka left, and now fans need somebody to hate, and people picked up Stanisic. And you guys know me, I don't think Stanisic should be starting for Bayern Munich against, teams like PSG, where they have a Kvaratskhelia on the left side. Stanisic played right back against PSG and got cooked. I don't think he should be starting in matches like that, but I don't think Stanisic is a bad player. I was surprised to see him play left back. I actually don't think he had his best match in this one, though. Similar to Limer, I would say, honestly. So I'm not as big of a Stanisic hater as a lot of people are, but I don't know if I actually would have started him in this one, to be honest with you. I predicted him to start at right back because I didn't think Limer was healthy. So midfield, Kimmich and Pavlovic, I thought they were both good. I thought Pavlovic uh, maybe was a little bit better. I don't know. They were both solid. I actually think that Bayern's midfield kind of dominated the midfield battle of this game. Nemecha and Bellingham, I thought, did not win this midfield battle. It was definitely Kimmich and Pavlovic. At times, I thought Pavlovic had higher highs than Kimmich in this match. Maybe I'll just put it like that. But Kimmich was the rock. He held things down for this Bayern Munich midfield, and as always, controls the pace for this Bayern Munich side. Michael Olise, goal and an assist. He'll probably be the one that most people say is man of the match. And I don't think I could disagree with that. I mean, again, goal and an assist, but he did actually miss a few chances that he actually should have buried. Nathaniel Brown, great match for Nathaniel Brown, in my opinion. And he played the 10. That was the biggest surprise of the day. The lineup drops. I'm getting ready to get married, of course. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, is Limer playing the 10? Is this a 4-3-3 with Limer in the midfield, Brown at left back, Stanisic at right back? So that was the first thing I looked for when I turned on the match, was to actually see and try to figure out what formation was being played, because I did not expect Nathaniel Brown to play the 10, but the left back converted into an attacking midfielder. He did damn good on the day, I thought. Very, very impressed with Nathaniel Brown playing out of position at the 10. Granted, Ismail Saibari is probably not healthy enough yet to play a full 90. He got subbed in, but didn't play a lot. And then you have Musiala obviously out, Gnabry obviously out, Carl obviously out. So Kompany had to do a few things differently with this attacking setup. I was expecting to see Tom Bischoff more. Tom Bischoff was the clear, far and away MVP of the preseason, and I don't know why Kompany doesn't like him. You guys know I love Kompany, but I don't want this to affect my feelings on Kompany. But if he goes another full season not playing Tom Bischoff, especially not playing Tom Bischoff in the midfield, I'm going to be very, very upset, because Tom Bischoff is the man. It's only one match, so I'm not going to freak out yet, but I just don't get why he played 1 minute of garbage time in this match, and that was it. Luis Diaz on the left side, I don't see why SofaScore rated him so low. He's a 6.2. I thought Diaz was great. I love Lucho. He had actually one of the best shots of the match. Incredible save by Gregor Kobel, a bending shot. Kobel's vision was also, I think, a little bit blocked by two defenders. And yeah, Diaz whipped in a bending shot. Kobel just saved it. Kane, actually similar to Diaz. I thought Kane and Diaz were both great in everything except for their finishing, which sometimes that happens as an attacker. But Kane and Diaz, I thought, were giving Dortmund fits. And, again, they didn't get on the score sheet. So for guys like that, it's always a disappointment when they don't get on the score sheet. But I thought they were both good. Looking over at Dortmund real quick, I won't do this every match for my breakdown, but Dortmund being such a good, important team in Germany, I want to break it down. Kobel, I thought, was their man of the match. Bensebaini getting a red card, which we'll talk about. I actually thought he was pretty good for most of the match. And to get a red card and still have a 7.1 rating, I guess that shows it. Voldemort Anton, I thought was okay. Probably could have done better. I won't go through everybody here, but the wingbacks, Svensson and Rierson, I thought were both great. I think that's a really good setup for Kovac. I know I'm going to bounce around a little bit here, but Guirassy, I didn't think was very good. Guirassy had an opportunity in the beginning of the match where if the ball touches his body, it's a goal. I don't know if Guirassy really fits in with this Niko Kovac system. I think Dortmund got rid of some of the guys over the summer that didn't fit in with the system. Adeyemi, Brandt, both of those guys have had, I don't like commenting on this, but both of those guys have had attitude issues in the past. And I'm not saying I know them personally, not saying that their attitude will always be an issue, but they've had attitude issues in the past. And Kovac being more of a disciplinarian, maybe that's why those guys got sold. I don't know. Just something to think about. Um, but Dortmund's midfield was pretty weak, I thought. Joe Bellingham and Felix Nemecha. And Felix Nemecha is a guy that I like. Didn't do good today. Joe Bellingham, I think, is just overrated. And again, whenever I watch, he just never really impresses me. A new pickup here for Dortmund, I believe. I believe he was picked up this summer, but they got two. I believe they're both Greece. One of this guy definitely is Constanelius, but both of them looked very good. And this guy has like a Greek name. I don't know if he is. He must be. Yeah, okay. They must both be Greek, but both of them were good, and I believe they're both new this year. I could be wrong, but they were both great. Actually, probably two of Dortmund's best players on the day, in my opinion. But now let's go through the match and just talk about how it went. So, first 10 minutes or so, I actually thought Dortmund was the better team. 10 to 15 minutes. Then after that, Bayern started to build. The Guirassy moment, can't remember who crossed it in, but there was a moment where, again, if the ball hits Guirassy's body, it's a goal. So Bayern was on the back foot for a bit, but then they started to build. They started to get into a rhythm, and then it's capped off with that Nathaniel Brown goal. 28th minute right there, 1-0 Bayern Munich. Michael Olise. I honestly, I've watched the match twice now, I guess. First time I was watching it was on my phone, so it's hard to see. But even the second time, I couldn't tell if this pass from Olise got deflected or not. But either way, the ball lands at Brown's feet, and Olise gets credited with the assist, which is fine by me. And Brown takes advantage of it with a really nice shot and scores. Opportune time and place. And Brown, I thought, overall did a nice job of playing with Olise. It's their first match together. I mean, their first real match together, and it seemed like they had been playing together for a while. So that was nice to see. There was a moment, I believe, shortly after the Brown goal where, and I think it was Ben Sebaimi again, watching the match in real time, getting ready for my wedding on Jim's phone. It's hard to see everything, so forgive me, if my mind was other places. But it looked like there was a cross in, and Dortmund scores. The ball glanced off, again, I believe it was Ben Sebaimi's back or head, and he was offside, so the goal gets disallowed. Barely touched him. The ball would have been going in if it didn't hit him. And if it wouldn't have hit him, that goal stands because it doesn't matter if he's offside. So, there was a period here where it's end to end, Bayern Dortmund end to end, and it was awesome. It was fun to see. And then right before halftime, Bayern, goes up 2-0 with a Michael Olise do-it-yourself moment. Olise just took on 3, 4, 5 Dortmund guys, dribbled through all of them, and scored. And that was awesome to see. We go into halftime up 2-0, feeling really, really good at that point, because by the end of the first half, Bayern deserved to be up, and they were the better team. Again, even though I thought Dortmund actually started off better, by the end of the half, Bayern looked comfortable. They looked like they were moving and grooving. And then Kovac really must have lit a fire under Dortmund's ass at halftime. Made a sub in the beginning of the second half here. Again, the young Greek player who I thought was great on the day. And then second half gets started, and you see Kovac makes more subs, trying to get something happen. Bayer comes on, Veerman comes on, and Fabio Silva comes on, which that will be a very important sub. But Dortmund looked good in the second half. They, for much of the first half, I think, again, were just being physically aggressive, but not aggressive in terms of trying to score. They were happy with sitting back and letting Bayern recycle the ball a little bit and just dictate the game. But then I think, again, some of these subs here in the second half, Dortmund becomes more aggressive. Um, and Bayern is actually playing on the back foot for a while here. In the second half, I tune into the match live around this point here. Actually, I probably tuned in around these subs because I remember seeing Davies come on for Stanisic. So maybe I only missed like 20 minutes live. But yeah, then Davies on for Stanisic in the 68th minute there. Davies, I thought, was pretty good. I mean, nothing phenomenal. On the goal, which we'll talk about, he actually almost made a really nice save. Wasn't his fault. Sabitzer on for Rierson in the 73rd minute. And this is the point where Dortmund's kind of starting to build. It's still end to end a little bit. Like Bayern is getting chances. Pavlovic had a couple of shots that were really nicely taken shots, but they just ended up being right at Kobel. Kane had a shot that just needed a little bit more bend on it, and it would have went in. I mentioned Diaz had a shot. Olise missed a couple sitters. Brown missed a sitter. So if Bayern would have been more clinical with their chances, the game would have been over. Bayern would have slammed the door shut on the match. But again, Dortmund missed a couple chances. Fabio Silva gets that goal in the 75th minute. I believe it was off of a corner or a set piece. Everybody was kind of in the box, and Svensson slides a pass to Silva, who gets the goal there. So that was a very nicely timed sub for Kovac. Silva for Guirassy. Then he gets that goal moments later. Then we got Ismail Saibari coming on for Nathaniel Brown in the 81st minute for Bayern Munich. Saibari did not really have a chance to get into this game, but I mean, he only had 9 minutes to do so. Then we see Bensebaini pick up that red card in the 90th minute. And in between the 75th and the 90th minute, Dortmund had a few more chances. But yeah, Bensebaini straight red. A little bit harsh of a call, I would say. It was one of those where, like, it was in the middle. It was an orange card, in my opinion. So I don't think you can really argue it either way. If it was a yellow, I wouldn't have argued it. If this foul happens in the 5th minute of the match, I don't think the ref is giving a red, and I actually would have a problem with it if the ref would have given a straight red that early on, but it wasn't. The match was almost over, and it was a reckless challenge. So it's like, hey, Dortmund was getting away with a lot. Dortmund was getting away with a lot in this match. They should have had some yellows, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain about the refereeing. I thought overall he did a pretty good job. And then in the 93rd minute, we see, I believe it's Maxi Bayer in front of a wide open net. And again, it was so hard to see this on a little phone, and I still couldn't tell watching the match again. Maxi Bayer in front of an open goal misses the shot in the 93rd minute to level things off. I think it was a moment of absolute heroics from Jonathan Tah. I think he got his calf on it. It was so tough for me to see, but Tah comes racing in, comes sliding in, and I think he gets a calf on it, and I think that's why the shot goes over the crossbar at the end of the day. But legitimately, Bayer's 2 feet from just Neuer in goal, and yeah, that was a sigh of relief for us Bayern Munich fans. And at that point, the match is over. All right, so I'm clearly a little bit rusty as well from the off season, and also, late night, got married. I'm gonna keep saying it because it was amazing and awesome in every possible way, and it's gonna be for the rest of my life. But I forgot to do match awards for this one while I was recording, so here I am. Forgive me, my setup is taken down, but I'm gonna give you match awards. Man of the match is gonna be Michael Olise. Goal and an assist. I know he missed some chances. Simple enough, though. Michael Olise, even not at his best, is still one of the best players in the world, point blank. My runner-up is going to be Nathaniel Brown. I thought, again, unfamiliar position, and he played very well. Got the first goal for Bayern Munich, got things going. My defender of the match is going to be Kim. It's going to be Kim. Again, I thought Tah did well also, but I was just really pleasantly surprised with Kim, and I think Tah was a little bit at fault for Dortmund's goal. Although if Tah actually did get that game-saving clearance in the 93rd minute, it'd be tough to argue against him. And my underrated player of the match is going to be Alexander Pavlovic. I just thought it was a nice little bit of a bounce-back match for Pavlovic, who has struggled as of late and also in the World Cup. A good way to start the season for Bayern Munich. I almost said a great way, and it's always great to start the season with a trophy, so I'm not gonna, like, again, moan about this, but yeah, it's kind of what you expect, at least for me in a match like this. I'm not expecting Bayern to be, you know, to be playing like they've built up a chemistry for a full season when you got guys injured, guys just coming back from the World Cup. So I take this every day of the week and we move. We get out of here. We play Stuttgart in the opening match of the Bundesliga season on Friday. Stay tuned for a preview show for that. It's gonna be tough for me again. I'm not gonna be able to catch that one live because, the beginning of the season is so tough for me with my job as a photographer in Wisconsin in the summer. There's a lot going on. So actually this weekend I'm photographing the Milwaukee Mile IndyCar races. So I have to be in Milwaukee on the track Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a doubleheader, 2 races Saturday and Sunday. There's practices and moving and stuff Thursday, Friday. So I'm gonna not be able to watch live Friday, but we'll get you a preview show. I'm thinking on Thursday morning, or no, not morning, probably Thursday night. And then yeah, I might be able to late night catch the match and then give you a reaction. So stay tuned for all that stuff. Jim might have some Chelsea content coming up for you as well. The EPL season is underway now. And again, appreciate all of you so much for everything, including all the well wishes on the marriage. It's an amazing, beautiful thing. And please subscribe. Thank you to all of our subscribers, everybody who likes, everybody who comments, and thank you to our members whose names you will see in a moment. Mia, San, Mia.